Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the creator behind Missouri Makes. You can find me on Ravelry as Missouri Makes. You can find me on Instagram as Missouri_Makes. You can find me on Pinterest and Facebook as Missouri Makes. And yeah, you can find me here on YouTube as Missouri Makes. So, I have a few finished objects. I have more finished objects that I can't show you, but I do have a few that I can. And I don't have any yarn to show you today. I bought yarn. I bought yarn 2 weeks ago, and it still has not arrived. They haven't even shipped it yet. So, I don't have any yarn to show you yet. There is some yarn that I'm wanting to buy come Monday. Today is October 26th, I believe. October 26th. Today's a Wednesday, and I'm hoping to get this out tomorrow on Thursday. If you don't know me, my name is Marissa. Hi, welcome. I am a crocheter and a knitwear designer. I mostly do crochet, but every so often I put knitwear out. And I love to knit other people's patterns because I'm not as advanced in my knitting techniques. So I do like to knit other people's patterns. So crochet, I can usually look at something and say, I can make that. Knitting, not so much. But I've been crocheting since I was 14, and I will be 25 next month. So I've been crocheting for a little while. Whereas with knitting, I've only been crocheting. I've only been knitting for a couple years. So, I have been working on some stuff. I've been working on some baby stuff. I finally have the baby blanket finished that I have been working on. I have got 1,000 ends to hide because it is a motif blanket. And each motif has 1, 2, 3 colors, and then you use one of the colors to attach it with. So there's a lot of ends to hide, but it is gorgeous and just as beautiful as I wanted it to be. And now that I've got it finished, I got to work on getting the ends hid. But that means that here in the next couple weeks, I will have a pattern for you. I will be able to show it to you, and that means that I will finally be doing a gender reveal. So soon, very soon, you will know the gender of my baby. I found out, what was it, 11 or 12 weeks in, and I am currently, today marks 19 weeks. So I've known for a little while, and the second that I knew, I went to find the color palette that I wanted for my baby. So I have been working on a blanket. I am currently working on a sweater, and the thing would have already been finished if I wouldn't procrastinate. But I am procrastinating, and so it is what it is. I'm on the last sleeve, and it will take me a total of maybe an hour if I just sit down and do it. Simple. I just got to sit down and do it. I do have a few things to show you. I have an update. Let's go ahead and do that. The last episode that I put out, I was talking about a cardigan that I wanted to make, and I couldn't figure out if I wanted to buy more yarn to make it the way I wanted it, or if I wanted to compromise and just shorten it, because I bought 9 skeins of worsted weight yarn in the Bravo worsted from Knit Picks. And if you don't know what that is, I can leave an affiliate link down in the description box below where you can go and purchase some yourself and try it out for yourself. I do highly recommend it. It is a soft acrylic yarn. It is a number 4 weight. They have a bunch of colors in it, and then they've got a tweed as well, which has, I don't know how many colors that has in it, but it's got several. And I bought both of them, but for the solids, I bought 9 skeins of it, thinking that I would have a fall cardigan. And I put 3 skeins into making this cardigan, and it was like 12 or 13 inches tall. And I'm thinking, I got to have more yarn than that, because I'm thinking, even with me being short, I want this to be past my bum, and in order to have that, it's going to have to be pretty long. And if I'm already gone through 3 skeins, this ain't going as far as I'd like it to. So I was procrastinating about it, and just figured out, okay, so I made a hat while I was procrastinating and did a technique that I was in love with. And so I decided I'm going to take out that cardigan completely take it all out. And I'm going to make a shawl with this same technique, and I will be happy with that, because I love making shawls. If you've ever looked at the list of patterns that I've created and I sell, I have a lot of shawls in it. So that is what I'm doing with it. I have a start on it. It's going to be a triangle shawl. Right now, all we have is double crochets. But there is going to be a technique in it that's going to, if it works out as the way I've planned it, it will turn out beautiful, and it's going to be so practical and useful for your wardrobe. You're going to want to make it in every color. The hook that I'm using is an I 5.5 millimeter. I'm using my old phone for this video, so finding the camera on it is sometimes a pain. Let me get a skein of the yarn and I will show you what it looks like. Hold on. Okay. I might have the box that the yarn came in beside my couch because I'm lazy and I won't put it away. But I'm in the middle of switching my office over to the trailer so that I can make room for the baby. And so I don't really have a place to put this yarn right now. So it goes where it goes at the moment. But I have Bravo worsted. I know that is backwards for you, but maybe I'll figure out by the end of this video how to flip it. There is 218 yards per 100 grams. It's a number 4. Oops. Sorry about that. I know it's shaking a little bit, but it'll stop. Oops. Sorry. It is a number 4 100% acrylic yarn, premium acrylic yarn. It says that is machine wash and tumble dry. The colorway that I got is gingerbread, and it's just a it's not mustard. It's like a burnt orange. And if I'm going to wear orange, I hate orange. I don't like orange. But if I'm going to wear orange, I want it to be this fall color where it's like a burnt orange. Same goes for yellow. I am not a yellow person. I don't like yellow, but I like mustard yellow. And so it depends on the shade of the color. Will depend on if I'm going to wear it. This is the perfect shade for me. This is a shade that I love and will wear. Yellow, when it comes to yellow, if I can get some burnt yellow or mustard yellow, I will wear that. I'd like that color. But I'm picky about my colors, and this is one that is really, really perfect for me. And on camera, the way I'm seeing it, it's almost true to color. I'm going to say that it's a little bit darker in person, but that's pretty accurate. That's why I like this phone, is because it's more accurate than my current phone that I have. Let's see, what else do I got? I'll save the baby stuff for last. Okay, so while I was procrastinating, I made hats. And it's the same hat in 3 different sizes because I wanted there to be options. First hat that I made was in my size because I have to try it on to see if it fits. And I made it with fabric in the back so it's slouchy, which is my favorite way to wear hats. I love slouchy hats. And this button actually serves a purpose. This button here, I'm going to bring this up close. You see this technique here? This is what I like to call a faux braid. And I learned this technique years ago and just forgot about it for a little while. And so it's a faux braid. And the way you do it is you create long stitches, and then once you're done with the hat, you twist them and make them into a braid. And this button here serves as a hook that the last stitch that you twist and do, you hook it around this button and it will hold this braid together. So if you take this button off, then the braid's going to come apart. You have to have the button. But you can put the button wherever you like. It's just a little accent piece, and it is a perfect fit. It's not snug, but it's fitted enough that it's not going to go anywhere. Not even in a big wind. It's not going to go anywhere. And I made this using, I just used some scrap yarn, I believe. I believe this was scrap yarn that I had, as well as this light blue one, which looks huge. It looks absolutely huge, but whenever I put it on my husband, it fits him. So I don't know, but that's that. This is the adult women's. My head size is about a 22-inch head, so that's what this is. And this will actually stretch, so if you're 22 and a half to 23, you should still fit into this. It'll just be a little bit snugger. And then I made a smaller version. This is using, I believe, Vanna's Choice. I'm not sure the colorway. I do have the label over there because I'm going to save it for whenever I write the pattern. But this is Vanna's Choice. This is the way it looks like before you braid it. And I am going to do a video on how you braid it, so that if there's any confusion in the pattern, you'll have a video tutorial to help you. But this is the next size down. Okay. Now this one, like I said, it is huge, but it fits my husband. This is the next size up, and I went ahead and braided it. I haven't put a button on it, so it's got that little lip there, but this is the braid in the light color. And I'll put this one on. See, this one is really loose on me, but I could still wear it. And there's a lot of slouch in the back. So, my husband is probably a 23 to 24 inch head. This is a little bit stiffer yarn, so it's gonna, until it's been washed, it's gonna be like that. Once it's washed a time or two, it'll soften up. But this is scrap yarn. I'm not sure what yarn it is, but all of these are using a number 4 weight acrylic yarn. If you want it to be warmer, you could use a animal fiber. You can, oh goodness, I have the hook size in my notes, but I think it's a 5mm that I'm using to make these, and I highly enjoyed them. They are easy as pie to make. Well, pie's not easy to make. They're easy to make. And I made one a day. I made one a day until I had the amount that I wanted. I wanted to have 3 different sizes so that you had options. And later on, I may make more sizes. So in the future, I may grade the pattern more to fit different sizes, because this one this one really doesn't have a stitch count besides the crown decreases. The crown decreases have a stitch count that you go by. The largest size has different decreases than the other 2 sizes. These have the same decrease methods. This one has a different stitch count for that. So that will be separate in the pattern that you'll have to follow. So that is that. The last thing I have to show you, and it is so stinking cute. First, I'm going to show you my inspiration. I don't know who gave me these. I'm not sure. Maybe Juanita gave them to me. But if you don't know, these are little mitts that go on your baby's hands so that they don't scratch their face whenever they are first born, because they don't always have control of their movements. and they tend to scratch their face. And to prevent that, you have these little mittens that go on, and there's just elastic that cinches around the wrist. And I'm like, well, that's not that hard. I could make some. And I made some. I only made one of each color because I made these yesterday. I actually made this in less than an hour. And I went to work yesterday at 1, and I was supposed to work till 9. And they sent me home early because of labor or whatever. And so I got to come home at 7:30. And I came home at 7:30. I sat down and I made the second one. These are different. I did the increases. This is the first one I made, and the increases on this is different than this one. The increases on this is knit front and back. That's what it is. Knit front and back, which creates the increases on the sides like that. And it looks like there's little purl stitches on the side. This one I did an invisible increase, which, if you don't know what that is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have a video on my channel of how to do the invisible increase. And if I do, I will link it in the description box, and hopefully remember to put it in the iCards on whichever side it's supposed to be on. But I did the invisible increases on this. And the way I started these is the same exact way that I start my toe-up socks. So if you watched my video, I have a video on my channel on how to do toe-up socks. If you've watched that, you can go back to it and refresh your mind, whatever, and you can make little hand mitts the same way you start toe-up socks. And you look, they're pretty much the same. Okay, so this first one was just a prototype. I knew that I needed to do things differently. So what I did was I started from what would be the fingertips and went up, and then I decreased. And then I knit a couple rounds, and then increased every stitch, and then increased every stitch again to create this ruffle here. And doing the ruffle, you have to have something to cinch the wrist or it will not stay on. So just in a pinch, I used a piece of yarn to cinch it because I wanted to see what it looked like all cinched up. This is not practical. I'm afraid that doing it this way, the baby's wrist might get its circulation cut off from the yarn. And so this one will probably not be used. If it will be, I'll have to figure out a different tying method. I'm going to have to figure that out. So I went back to the drawing board and started working on this one. And I can tell just by looking at it that I did the ruffle differently. I couldn't remember exactly how I did the ruffle on this one, but I can tell already that I did the ruffle differently on this one, and I'm not upset about it. I love that. I love it. I love it. The more, the better on the ruffle. And I know that it's not going to be cinched this tight whenever it's on baby's wrists or hands, so the ruffle's going to be a little bit different, because I tighten this up all the way to get that ruffle. But again, this one's done in DK weight yarn. So I don't remember the needle size, but I just used the appropriate needle for DK weight yarn. And I used the same needle with this one, but this is fingering weight. These both I hand dyed myself, and they're scraps of yarn that I had left over. This is a fingering weight that I held double. And if you look, it's not too much of a size difference. But I made Doug's socks out of this. And so the baby's going to have matching hand mitts. But what I did was I worked the same amount of increases and stitches here and just followed this up into the wrist. The wrist, I did not decrease. I forgot to decrease. But I did make yarn over to create holes so that an I-cord could fit through it. And after I did the yarn overs, I did one solid round to kind of stabilize everything. And then I did increase every stitch, knit one round solid, increase every stitch, knit one round solid, and then bound off. And that's what created this ruffle here. And then this morning I took, and actually right before this video, I took and made an I-cord. Now the I-cord may or may not be long enough to tie a bow, but I don't really have to have the bow. I think that that's cute as it is. I think, well, I'm pregnant, what do I know? I have been melting over every baby thing that I have made. I have been melting over every baby thing that I see. I'm all gooey inside because of baby stuff. My husband won't even let me buy baby stuff. But, yeah. I am tickled Pete. And I have enough to make the second one for this blue one. And probably make the baby socks as well. So the baby will have mitts and booties that'll match. And then the baby can match daddy, which he'll be happy about. So, and I made something with this, didn't I? I've showed this yarn on the channel. What did I make with this? I'm sure it's folded up in my drawers. I'll probably find it when I pull out all my winter stuff. Okay, so that's all baby stuff that I can show you right now. Like I said, I have a sweater that's almost done. I cannot show it to you because it tells you the gender. I have the blanket done. Cannot show it to you because it shows the gender. But I will be revealing the gender within the next couple weeks. I've got to weave in all my ends and then start writing the pattern up. And I'll probably show you before I get the pattern completely done. I'll probably show you. And then, which if you follow me on Instagram, Instagram will probably be the first place that people find out because I'm going to do this cute little reel for it. But, yeah, within the next couple weeks. My hopes was to do a gender reveal about halfway. And so I'm 19 weeks now. Within the next couple weeks, I mean, it's perfect planning. All I got to do is hide the ends and stuff, and it'll be done. Let's see. Don't forget that the big book of tips and tricks and the patterns to go with them, it all ends on the 31st. The free patterns, all of it, it all ends on the 31st. And if you haven't gotten your set yet, you'll want to go and get it. If you want, I have one of my patterns in with this book, and I also have there's two different books. The big book of tips and tricks is tutorials and stuff. It has written instructions, it has photo tutorial, it has video tutorial. It's over 200 pages worth of knowledge that every crocheter needs. And then when you go to purchase that book, you have the option to purchase the second book, which has all of the patterns that was available free this month. All of them, plus extras. She always put extras in there. And one of those patterns is mine. It's the cinnamon spice mitts. If you just want the cinnamon spice mitts, you can go to my Ravelry, and they are available there that you can purchase. But if you want all of the patterns for a super, super, super low price, you can go to the link down in the description box. I'll put it there for you. And you can go to purchase the first book, which is all of the stitches and techniques. When you go to purchase that, you'll have the option to purchase the patterns as well in case you missed it. And those put together, you can't beat it. All of the patterns that are in this event have the techniques that are being used in the bit. It all coincides with each other, so they go very well. And I have my cinnamon spice mitts in it. My day was, I think it was the 17th. It was on a Sunday. And I posted about it on Instagram and I believe Facebook. And I put it in my newsletter. If you're not subscribed to my newsletter, I do highly recommend it because that's where I post all of the updates, whether it be a new pattern release, event, new video, whatever. That's where you're going to find out first. And so I even take and put some of my Instagram posts into there so that you can click on them and go look at Instagram. But I try to make sure that y'all know everything. But because my subscriber count is low right now, YouTube won't let me do posts and things on YouTube to let you know there. So until YouTube gives me that option, I highly recommend subscribing to my newsletter, which again will be in the description box down below. All of the links, affiliate links, social media, everywhere you can find me, it'll all be in the description box. And if you have any questions about it, you can always comment down in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer whatever I can. But it does end the 31st. And that'll be it. The book will not be available anymore, so if you have not gotten your mitts on it, you might want to go and do that now. But yeah, it's discounted, highly discounted, and is worth more than what she has put it out to be, both books. And so, because my patterns alone go for $5 a piece, and so there's 20 something designers, I believe, over 20 designers. And so you think not everybody prices their patterns the same. Some designers price their patterns $8 or more. I read today that there was someone that prices their patterns at $12. And so if you think about it, you and I both know that I don't know how much the book is. I think it's $12 or $15. That is a steal when it comes to getting patterns. And so, and my cinnamon spice mitts alone come in 5 different sizes. So you think about it, you're getting a bargain. So if you want those, I will be sure to leave the link. Oh, excuse me. I keep getting hiccups. That's my problem right now, is I never know when it's going to happen, but I get hiccups. And I don't know why. And most of the time it's just one hiccup. But that's the fun part right now. But I will leave the links in the description box down below for you. And I believe that's it. If you're wondering what that pattern is, that is it the Baby Ruth blanket from the Secret Yarnery? I can leave that in the links as well. It is not my pattern. I made it for my husband whenever we got married. Well, started it before we got married and finished it after, because I am a procrastinator by heart. But that is his blanket, and as you can see, ends are still not woven in on it, and he loves it the way it is, so I'm not going to worry about changing it. But yeah, I think that's it. I hope that y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and I will see you another day.